This is good conversation.
Smooth jazz.
Be smooth, be jazzy.
Oh no.
Yes. We're canceling the show.
HPE show.
We're canceling the show. It only gets a pilot. Talking about, serious time. How many times did you actually go see Endgame?
I think just twice.
Just twice?
Just
That's
twice.
fair. Well, the first time was obviously with me and Sierra
Right.
and all our group. Chris.
Yeah.
But what was the second time?
With my friends that I used to work with from my last job.
Is that the theater job?
No, that was the instructing job.
Oh, okay. Are you not doing the instructing job anymore?
Somewhat. I'm not doing it over the summer though, because I might have a job that pays pretty good.
Oh, fair enough.
That'll,
Can I ask
take
about
its place.
what that job is, or?
It's a massage shop.
Oh, okay. It's a massage job. Yeah, Clint Eastwood's hiring me out just to massage his back. It's great. Dude, I would massage Clint Eastwood's back any day. You can take that out of context. I don't even care. Chase,
Oof.
are you good?
I think so.
You just went silent for a minute. Did
think
you
I'm
just
alright.
space?
I did just space out a little
You
bit.
forgot we're podcasting.
Yeah, I said,
You're like, oh wait, we're
What
not
are you
just
doing?
having a random conversation where I can just stop talking for no reason.
See, that's where this podcast gets weird.
Yeah, because it's just us having a conversation. It's not
Yeah.
like us on topics or anything, which is what's fun about it.
Yeah, you're right. But at the same time, it's too comfortable. That's why I was throwing
Agreed.
out ideas before we started. I was like, we could talk about this, or this,
Yeah,
or that.
we'll talk about that. We'll do this, and then it's like we get into it, and it's like, I don't know. What are you doing? Oh, nothing much.
I don't know.
What are you
Fart
doing?
joke.
Fart
Throwing,
joke.
throwing body weight around. Hitting people. I
Throwing
don't know.
body weight around.
Yeah, I think that's a way to say, like, boxing. I don't know. Or
I've
dancing.
never heard it said like that, but I mean it works.
I've heard them explaining dancing by, like, it's just awkward movements of me throwing my body weight around.
Yeah, and for some reason it looks good. It's like, okay. Have you ever noticed
Right.
that it's like it's just wiggling your body to the beat?
It really is.
Dancing
Yeah.
is just wiggling your body to the beat.
Yeah, they should look into this more. I don't think anyone realizes how dumb dancing is. We're
Yo,
just we're wasting energy.
dancing is stupid.
We're taking a hard stance right now.
And if you
No
dance,
dancing.
personally, if you are a dancer, you're stupid. I'm
It is
joking.
the town
I'm
of
sorry.
Footloose on this podcast.
Yeah, dude, Footloose is the
So.
worst. Kevin
No Kevin
Bacon's the
Bacon's
worst.
here.
Oh my gosh, I need to turn you up in my ears. I use the same headphones for podcasting as I do whenever I'm playing Xbox. So like, I get into party chat and I'm like, hey, what's up? Oh,
Oh, dog.
Bark.
Bark.
Hey,
bark,
hold on.
bark.
Stop! Thank you. Oh, there they go.
Nice.
Oh, Jackie's home.
Ah,
Hi, Jackie.
Makes sense.
Good times. What were we talking about?
We were talking
Squeaky
about.
chair.
I think the last thing that you said was you use the same headphones to podcast as you do to watch or play Xbox.
Well, yeah. See, like, so whenever I get on, because I'll turn like the little volume knob all the way up on my headphones, and so whenever I get onto like live or something like that, it's like, hey guys, how's everyone doing? Okay, my ears
Yeah.
are dead.
That makes
Sounds
perfect
exactly like that. Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
Goodness gracious. Have you seen any good non-comic book related movies lately?
Um,
Because we talk
I
about
saw one a
comics
while
all
back.
the freaking time.
Yeah. It's called, it was that 5 Feet Apart movie.
Oh, was that the boat thing or
No, it was,
no? The boat one was being like stranded or some crap. I don't know.
yeah. The,
Sorry, I keep
5
interrupting
Feet
you.
Apart was about, two kids with, it was a lung disease.
Oh, that's fun.
And they have to stay, like, around normal people, they're fine, but around people with the same disease, they have to stay away from each other. So they have to keep like 6 feet between them at all times. And then it's like a forbidden romance between two of the people with the same disease.
That actually
And
sounds
they
kind of
choose to
interesting.
stay. Yeah, it's got like one of the Sprouse twins in it.
Oh, yeah. Cole.
Cole
Yeah.
Sprouse.
So Cody, I think. Crap.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
can't remember if
not
that was Zach or Cody. I think it was
you're
Cody.
right. You're right.
You know, yeah, he's been in everything lately. Like Cole Sprouse has been in a lot of stuff, but I haven't seen the other Sprouse twin in much lately.
Yeah, Dylan Sprouse. He was in
No,
this
Dylan was
one-
Cody. I think.
Nope.
Are you sure?
I am 100% sure.
All right, you're probably right, but we're IMDbing
look it up.
Oh, I'm gonna
Look it up.
Oh, I'm gonna. I'm running away with it. IMDb. Here we go. No, I don't want to look at friggin' Dark Phoenix on IMDb. No one wanted to look at Dark Phoenix, period, to begin with. Why are people seriously doing a petition for like the original cut of Dark Phoenix? It would have sucked just as bad. Honestly. All right. Oh, wait, how do they spell Zach? Oh, okay, with a K.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, Cole and Dylan Sprouse. Let's see who it is. Uh-oh. So Dylan was, in fact, Cody. Did I break
What
your
was
head
that
with
you
that?
cut out? What?
Oh, my bad. Dylan was Cody.
Really?
No, I'm lying to make myself look better. No, you were right.
Okay, I was like, are you sure? But yeah,
Definitely not.
I knew I was right. I was 100% self-confident in that. There was no
I'm glad
self-doubt.
that someone has self-confidence in this phone call. Self-deprecation. No, I tried making a theme for it, but that didn't work either. There's a reason I don't have self-confidence.
Boom.
Uh,
Gotta commit.
Here it is.
Commit
to the bit. Friggin',
Yes.
goodness gracious. I don't know. I'm trying to think about what the last really good... Psycho, actually. I watched Psycho for the first time. Alfred Hitchcock classic. That movie was great. And
I've heard good things.
I was not expecting for it to catch me off guard. Like, I mean, I know the twists of it and everything like that, but I mean, I don't know, there's something about it.
Yeah.
That it actually caught me off guard and scared me. It's a very old movie. I mean, it was made in like the 60s. I want to say the 60s. It may have been like the 50s, to be honest with you. I will look up the exact date again. IMDb.
It's old.
But watched it for the first time. Me and Chris were hanging out in the trailer, and he was like, "All right, so tonight, what are we gonna watch?" And he like pulled out like Watchmen, Psycho, and then a couple of others. I think the other ones was like 2001: A Space Odyssey and like Clockwork Orange, stuff like that. Movies that I haven't seen yet, and I was like, "Bro, hit me up with that Psycho. I wanna watch that." So I mean, I wanted to watch all of it, but I just
Right.
hadn't seen Psycho, and dude, holy crap,
Yeah.
1960 on the dot,
Boom.
and it
All
was
right.
incredible. Honestly, it was
So
a
it
really
was
good
released
movie.
in 1960.
Yes, so it
So
probably
it
would
was
have been
made
filmed.
in the 50s.
Yes,
Boom.
and obviously it probably didn't have much of a budget behind it because it literally is not. I mean, it's mostly set in a motel, so there's that. But
Yeah.
I don't know. That was just a really good movie, and it was cool seeing a movie because some movies. I don't know. I'm trying to think about movies that are like this, but like some movies just do not hold up after watching it the first time because the twist, so everything interesting about it is gone. But I mean, I already knew the twist for Psycho going in, so it was like, oh well. I mean, yeah, it didn't matter like at all
Right.
because it was still incredible.
What's the movie where Leonardo DiCaprio is a detective, but then he's not, and then he's a mental patient?
Oh,
And
I haven't
then-
seen that one either, but I want to see it. But I think it's Shutter Island.
Yes. Yeah, I feel like that's gonna have the same appeal, like in the next.
Yeah, where people will know that the
Coming
twist
years.
is a thing, but it's like it's still a good movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I agree. Like I feel like there's a lot of movies like that. Like jeez, I'm trying to think of a lot of movies where it's like there's an actual really good twist, but like I guess Sixth Sense. Everyone says that
Yeah.
one's a really good movie. I haven't seen that one either. I mean,
Yeah.
but I mean, obviously, I know the twist of it. I see dead people. But
Right. I've seen it, and it is good.
Mhm.
Like you don't know. Like I knew. Yeah. That.
Yeah.
Obviously the
The twist.
investigator was a ghost and he
Yeah.
died already. But whenever I watched it for the first time and I had forgotten about it.
oh,
So
There you
by
go.
the time I had watched it, I was like, "Oh, right, all right, cool." I didn't even it still surprised
fair
me.
enough.
Yeah. So, boom, dude.
Yeah.
I want to switch.
What? You want to? Oh, a
I don't
Nintendo
wanna
Switch?
chairs.
Dude,
I want to
yep.
switch. I want a
Same.
nanny switch.
Big same.
Give me that nanny switch. I need it. Like,
Honestly, big same.
and I think the online for the Switch is like $19,
oh, that's not bad.
something like that. I think that's the starting price, so that might be their like 3-month thing.
Yeah. I don't know.
So their full
I
their
love
full year
Nintendo.
would probably be like 30 or $30, 30, 40.
Oh gosh, yeah. It's probably something like that. I don't know. It's like that's not bad. I mean, comparing it to a lot of
No.
other guys, like usually it's like $100 a year. It's like that's pretty good. Like that's really
Yeah.
good.
Like for PlayStation Network, it's like $56,
Mm.
and then I think for Xbox it's about the same
It's around that.
for the year membership. So that's not a bad look.
Not at all.
But
Honestly, like
it
that's
is-
pretty good.
I do feel like it is a bit overpriced though.
I guess. I mean, I think that the Switch has really upped Nintendo.
Yeah.
As compared to like say the Wii and the Wii U, because personally speaking, I think the Wii U was a stupid name. Like that was
Yeah.
really dumb, because I think a lot of people probably just assumed that the Wii U was just an accessory to the Wii, because like that's what it sounded
yeah.
like,
Right.
It sounded like an accessory to the Wii, where it's like, oh, you
It's,
just go ahead and get this tablet, it just adds on to the Wii. But it was
Oh,
a
yeah.
completely different console. I think the
Right.
Switch is a lot different in that it's like, yeah, no, this is something different, and it's kind of like it may not have the same graphical power as like your PS4 or Xbox One, but it's kind of huge, and
Yeah.
it's leaned a lot more into third party stuff than previously, like since the Wii and Wii U, because like I mean there was a lot of third-party stuff for the GameCube, which is still one of my favorite consoles, to be honest with you, because man, the GameCube was just amazing. But dude, I was playing GameCube this morning just because I was like, dang, this is so fun. I love the GameCube. Anyway, I think Nintendo's kind of getting back to kind of how the GameCube was, where a lot of the GameCube games that a lot of people love are Nintendo, but then you also have other ones like, I don't know, like Spider-Man 2, you know, that was a big game on the Nintendo GameCube, you know, and that wasn't by Nintendo. There were a lot of games like that.
Yeah, I feel like they're going back towards the GameCube situation as far as like opening up their game possibilities too. Yeah. Like the Switch it's come back to the GameCube as in like it's becoming a mainstream console. Like it's not something that's strictly something that you keep in the family living room so that everyone can play.
Oh gosh,
this is something that you can take to your own setup and you can play this as like a normal person, because you can get, you know, FPSs and everything else like that now. It's not just
I mean like
Wii bowling and
I mean there's even like a Mortal Kombat 11 port for the Switch, you know. So it's really not just this is for, you know, party games and stuff like that anymore. It's like a more of a serious console. Like obviously Nintendo will always have that brand of being more for the family, which is there's nothing wrong with that. And I think that's kind of a good thing, to be honest with you. That Nintendo kind of has that brand and that kind of look for it, because I mean, you know, they're the only ones with Mario, they're the only ones with Kirby and Nintendo, or like, you know, that's what Nintendo has. But they even have pushed games like, I mean, for instance, Zelda. I mean, the last game, Breath of the Wild, is incredibly expansive and amazing, and it's definitely not like just for family. It's very much a single player experience. There's a lot of Mario games that too.
Right. Oh yeah.
I don't know. Like even, and, you know, and they've got a lot of more like adult oriented games too, where more it's like, I mean, they're the ones who, it's always been on the Wii and Nintendo consoles for No More Heroes. And those are some pretty violent and rough language games. Like it's rough. But you know, but you still hear people say things like it's more for kids and stuff like that.
You got it right. They are opening it up more for adult oriented games, even though that in the past they have had those. It's not been like their mainstay.
Yeah.
But I don't think it ever will be either. I think they'll, like you said, they'll always have that family-friendly aspect to them. But it's going to be nice to have that option for the adult-themed games.
Well, I mean, even hearing like my parents talk about it when I was little, like, I mean, Uncle Michael and Beth were over here. And obviously, I mean, you know who I'm talking about when I say that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I mean, obviously, not actually real aunt and uncle, but, like, basically. I mean, honestly. But, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. I just zoned out. I'm good at this podcast thing. Yeah. Anyway. So, like, they were over or whatever, and I was, like, playing Super Mario Sunshine or something like that, which is such a fun game. Honestly, the Mario games are fantastic and really innovative. But anyway, not important right now. The reason I bring that up is because they were talking about it, like, while they were buying the Wii or whatever. And like, a lot of people were saying, you know, oh, well, you should probably get, like, the Best Buy people were like, oh, you should probably get, like a PlayStation or an Xbox or something like that. But they decided to go with Wii because, I mean, they were using it more for, you know, like, family and stuff like that. Which is, I mean, that's what we used it for. Because I never really took playing video games and stuff like that seriously until I was, like, you know, a teenager. Because I didn't really do a lot of it until then, playing a lot of games like I do now. I mean, like, when I was a teenager, the majority, it was just playing games with the family, like I don't know, like Mario Sonic at the Olympic Games or something like that, you know? It wasn't a lot of what we do now where I'm like Rainbow Six and Overwatch and Sea of Thieves. But like, because that's my main squeeze now, Chief. But, I mean, not even really Overwatch. And then like also a lot of indie games, because you didn't see a lot of like independent games going to the Wii, even though they had like a really interesting thing that you could, I mean, they had like a cool, they had something different is what I'm trying to get at with the controls and everything, that you could do some really different cool things with controls, and like even just like playing around with how you played the game. And so you didn't get to see a lot of stuff like that being explored because Nintendo didn't really open itself up to third-party stuff until much later, especially with the Switch, which was always a really weird thing that they did that. Like, obviously, like the Nintendo games are one thing, but then like you also have on like the GameCube, I think the majority of GameCube games that people remember are the ones that were, you know, GameCube exclusives.
Right.
But I mean, that goes the same with like Xbox and PlayStation, you know. It's like, oh, what's your favorite PlayStation game? A lot of the times you're going to have someone say like Uncharted or Last of Us, not Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 or, you know, something like that, because that's,
you can get that on anything.
You can get that on literally even like Nintendo, you could get that on there. I mean, like, so I mean,
DSi.
Exactly. Like, if you asked about an Xbox game, you'd probably get like an Xbox exclusive. Like, I don't know, like, I mean, the only one that's coming to my mind right now is Sea of Thieves, so we'll just go with that.
Right.
I don't know. It's just that's just what I was thinking of, because I'm definitely going to be playing that after we're done recording. But I don't know. I don't think people are giving the Switch enough credit, you know.
I think it's definitely on the comeuppance.
Yeah,
like,
people are starting to you know, stop sleeping on Nintendo. Freaking dude, Luigi Mansion. Oh, dude, I cannot wait for all the new games coming to the Switch. I mean, like Ultimate Alliance 3 is a exclusive, which is so interesting that out of all of them that could be exclusive, like out of all of the consoles to make that exclusive for, they chose Switch. I think that's cool.
Yeah. It's definitely a odd decision. I don't hate it, but
I don't mind it, because like at the same time, it pushes me to get a Switch, because now it's more than just, oh, we only have, you know, like if you want to play Zelda or, you know, Luigi's Mansion 3 or, you know, whatever. It's not just for things like that now. It's also for, I mean, games like Ultimate Alliance 3, which is a game that I've wanted since forever. Because I think Ultimate Alliance 2 came out back in like 2009, I want to say.
Yeah, it was a while back.
It was a minute ago, Chief. Yeah. So, like, I don't know. It's cool to see something like that happening. I don't know. I feel like we've probably talked about video games for a really long time now.
Yeah.
We need a video game podcast.
A little bit. Yeah. Nah, like, I know we've both talked about getting a Switch, and I think Ultimate Alliance 3 is definitely one of the main reasons. And then, of course,
that's what started our conversation, I think.
Yeah, like, and I just love the aspect of being able to go from handheld to TV screen. Yeah,
same.
Like, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's really,
the PS
really
Vita
cool.
tried it.
Yeah, it didn't like super succeed.
Attempt at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It did okay. And, it definitely didn't do like the sales of the PSP or anything like that. But
definitely not.
Yeah. I think Nintendo has brought that concept to a whole new level. And I honestly really just want to have another Pokemon game in my hands.
Yep. And Sword and Shield looks pretty dang good.
It does. It does look really good.
So I think that's another thing. It's like I want to get a Switch so I can play, because I want to play Breath of the Wild as a giant Zelda fan. I still haven't. because I have a
Right.
Wii U, but I want to play it on Switch because it's like the best port of it, and I'm like, I really want to play it so bad. So I'm like, because like last time I got a Zelda game, I got Link Between Worlds for my DS, because I'm a cheap
Yeah.
boy, so I got that 2DS instead of the 3DS because it's like stupid cheaper, and also the 3DS graphics kind of gives me a bit of a headache. I'm gonna be honest. Something about it's just like, ooh.
Yeah, I don't think anyone enjoyed that.
It's not a bad look. Like it's cool for people who can like stomach it, because like it's a cool look, but like it gives you a headache. Um, Goodness, but like I got Link Between Worlds, and it was so, dude. I beat that thing in like 2 or 3 days. I was playing it
Right.
nonstop just because it's a really good Zelda game, and I am a giant fan of Zelda. Like it's one of my favorite gaming series. Just there's something about it that I just love. And even what we were saying earlier about like GameCubes having really good like third party support, like
Yeah.
the GameCube had a Metal Gear Solid 1 port that was completely exclusive. It was like an HD remake of the original Metal Gear Solid 1 that no one else had. It was called Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes, and was basically, the original Metal Gear Solid but with HD remake for the GameCube. And that was only for the GameCube. So you had things like that, but like, I mean, you didn't really get much of that after the GameCube. I don't know. It seemed like nobody really wanted to develop for the Wii. I think that might be part of it. Just like nobody really wanted to do the Wii.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
There must have been something about the Wii that was difficult to develop for, because a lot of the times you would see like different versions of games whenever it would get to the Wii. Like it would be a completely different version of the game. Like one game I remember vividly for doing that is the Captain America game that came out back in 2011 for the first movie. It's called Super Soldier, which is a pretty good game, and I think I still have it for like PlayStation 3. But like it was such a fun game, but it was terrible on the Wii. Like, and it looked bad. Like it was very like sort of almost cartoony graphics, but like it just didn't work, and the controls were garbage, and like I don't know, there was just like there's so much about it that just did not work.
Yeah. I don't know. I think part of it is the fact that the Wii was always smaller, so obviously it's going to have less power to it.
Yeah, it had yeah.
And it's the Switch has, from reviews and stuff, it already has that problem.
Yeah.
With handheld it's fine, and then blowing it up to a TV, obviously you're going to see the aspects of it that aren't that great as far as graphics are concerned.
Oh, I'm sure.
But I honestly think that Nintendo took the idea of the consoles and said, well, what if we just put that on a handheld?
Yeah. And I will say that's
give them the option.
That's one thing about Nintendo that they really have over like all the other consoles, is that they're more creative with what they do,
Yeah. Oh yeah. They definitely breathe a little bit of new life to the console.
Because I mean, if you look at the last 4 PlayStations and the last 3 Xboxes, kind of the same thing. It's just with better graphics and better computing power. I mean, that's about it. It's just kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just better than the last couple of years.
You're right, and I mean, there's no need for change with them either. Like, their audience isn't saying, "Oh, well, you need to completely revamp your system." They're just saying, "Hey, make this better. Make it, 4K. Just make another PS4 Pro. Like, update the graphics, update everything, update the power." Like, they just want everyone is just asking for an updated system. But with Nintendo, they kind of expect something different.
Yeah, and like they could have easily stayed with GameCube, I think. Like they could have stayed with that model for gaming, But they didn't.
Yeah.
They continued to change it up and change. It's like ever since they originally made the first like the NES, it's like they never really stuck with like one way of doing something, and that's kind of cool. It's admirable, I guess. It's
Right.
like they're always trying to change something. Obviously I'll give them a little bit of fault for the Wii U, because that was just kind of the same thing but with a tablet. But I mean, still.
Yeah. I mean, you're always going to have some misses whenever you're trying out new things. And I think that's one reason why PlayStation and Xbox have always stuck with kind of the same thing, and not really changing anything, because, one, they don't need to. They're literally in the same situation Apple's at right now, where they can just barely update the iPhone and then kind of just go from there and just keep spitting out lighter and lighter upgrades from the past iPhone.
Yeah, it's kind of the idea of like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it type of deal.
Yeah.
I don't know. And so it is cool to see, you do have certain companies that do continue to just change and do whatever, but then you have like what you said, like even Apple does a lot of just basically the same thing and then just charge you a whole lot more for it. Like, hey, you want to pay $900 for a stand?
Yeah, like this new iPhone that they put out, the XS Max, that is the first big change that they've had in an iPhone.
Now
in the past like 5-6 years, and that was just them making
what's different
the screen
about it?
bigger.
Oh, is that it?
It's literally the screen.
Oh my gosh. Okay. That's it.
It's that and the updated camera. Right. Literally, those are the two things, and processing power probably.
It's
like, the processing power's upgraded, but it's also going to drain your battery at 200%.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It is a little bit annoying when companies like that get kind of set in their ways.
Right.
It seems to happen a lot. I don't know.
Yeah. When
Crap,
you control the market, man.
Dude, I just realized we've been going for almost 40 minutes.
Oh. Well, it's minus 2 minutes.
Yeah, true.
About 4 minutes. So, yeah. Yeah, about 40.
That's all right. I got to freaking...
37, 38 minutes. Or no, that's the time we're at now. Boom. You're welcome, everyone.
Yeah, nice behind the scenes there,
40 minutes
Chase.
of us babbling.
Oh, crap. How's work been for a while?
Everything.
Man.
Good. Work's been good. They're keeping me busy. I haven't had any, complaints or anything like that, so that's good. And... yeah, the tips keep flowing, and I continue to help people. People help the people.
Help the people, Chase. Help the people.
Yeah, helping all the time. How's it going, dude?
Oh my gosh. How's it going, dude?
How's it going, dude?
Lordy, but yeah,
I watched that entire playthrough.
Did you serious?
I did.
Yeah, heck yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know.
So much repetitive action going on in that. Oh my gosh.
And it's kind of amazing. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a very funny playthrough.
It
and I feel like that's part of the reason it worked so well is how repetitive it was.
Yeah, oh yeah. Shoot, goodness. Game Grumps, you are of another realm.
Okay, I actually got an interesting question here to probably finish this out before we do the take it or leave it. But
okay.
I just realized I'm going to have to think of something for take it or leave it. But I think a lot of people, and this is going to be coming, here comes the Christian talk. I think a lot of times Christians act like you shouldn't watch something like we'll say Game Grumps, because it does have a more of a edgier adult edge to it, because I mean it's a lot of ugly language and crude humor, stuff like that. but I think that's really stupid.
Yeah.
As someone who enjoys both, like clean whatever and also not so clean, I I I think there's a difference between. I mean, it kind of comes back to the verse of being in the world but not of it. There's a difference between, like, oh, I watched a movie that said the F word, or watched a movie where someone murdered someone, and there's a difference between actually murdering someone. And sometimes it's like Christians act like there's not a difference. I don't know. It seems like I've had this conversation with a lot of Christians, and a lot of them agree exactly like that.
Well, yeah. I mean, it kind of goes into the same realm of, I mean, when Jesus was preaching to people, he didn't go to churches and preach. They're already with God. Like, they're there. He went to the back alleys. He went to basically the bottom of the barrel when you think of human society. And
exactly.
Preach to those people.
Well,
like, that's what our job is to do.
Yeah, and people, sometimes it seems like people act like, I don't know, that it's, I don't know, it's kind of a hard concept to just throw out there. I don't know, sometimes it feels like we can't really accurately relate to people if we're not actually out there with people. It kind of comes back to the idea that we talked about, even like, I think it was either the pilot or the first episode, where we talked about, I mean, my problem with like Christian movies, which, by the way, I went back and listened to it, and I realized how bad it could sound whenever the way I kind of, it sounds like I'm pooping on like Chris Tomlin and like your Matt Redman or whatever. Because I 100% believe that they're doing the Lord's work right now, and they're worshiping the Lord in their own ways. That sounded bad when I look back at it, because like I talked about them in the same way that I talked about like the Christian movies like God's Not Dead and stuff like that. There's a very big difference, because Christian movies are kind of I mean, it's like what I said about it's movies made by Christian people for Christian people. When film is such a huge art form now that, like, I mean, honestly, it's like almost every home in America, at the end of the day, usually someone's just flicking on Netflix or Hulu or Amazon or something like that just to watch something. Whenever you should really be using something like that if what you're doing is that you're trying to spread the message of Christ and trying to spread the gospel, then you should be making these movies for more than just yourself, you know? I don't know. It's weird that it seems like a lot of the times, in the same way even like church works, where it seems like a lot of the times the church is just having services and expecting people to come to them, instead of going out and relating to other people how Jesus did, you know? And I think that does come back to film in the same way, where we should be making things to relate to other people and express our heart and our personal journey with Christ, and not be so formulaic with everything, you know? I don't know. It's like it sometimes it kind of hurts seeing movies like God's Not Dead, where it's just it is just kind of a sermon. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but if that's all you're doing, you got to ask, like, I mean, why are you doing it, you know?
Yeah. I
kind of just got a little bit long-winded there.
Those movies.
Yeah. I agree with that.
But it's definitely, you're right. It is by Christian people for Christian people. But I will say that there has been a lot of mainstream recognition from a couple of them. I believe
like
some
what?
movies like Facing the Giants.
Yes. Well, and see, and that
was,
to me is different.
I believe that was their first one.
Yeah, and that's by different people. God's Not Dead and like the Facing the Giants, courageous folks. Those are different people. I honestly really enjoy a lot of the movies. Not all of them, I'll be honest, but I mean, it's not like I enjoy all of the Marvel movies, because some of them aren't as good as the others. I personally really enjoy the movies by, I forget what, it's a church in Atlanta, I think, that does a lot of the ones like Flywheel, Facing the Giants, Courageous, stuff like that. I honestly enjoy those because they've got a story, they've got a heart. It's like people, they care about what they're making. So it's a lot more, like even Fireproof, like with Kirk Cameron. That was a good movie. Like, I don't know. And there was heart to it. It had something to say. Like, I mean, I can think of those movies and think of certain scenes that I love. Like, for, I don't know, say, like there's just funny moments. Like, it takes moments to be real life, and to have a heart behind it. Say, like, one that sticks out to me is in Fireproof, when there's a whole scene about them, like, taking shots of hot sauce at the fire station. And it's a whole thing, and then Kirk Cameron does his. It's like the hottest hot sauce or whatever, but he handles it. And then the other guy does it, and he's, like, freaking out and everything. And later on, like, he's like, it was tomato juice. And he walks away, and, like, the guy's like, what is he talking about? And it cuts to, like, midnight, and the guy gets up, and he, like, throws his pillow. He's like, tomato juice? Because it finally clicked. Yeah. Like, that was funny.
Right.
That's really funny.
Oh, yeah.
That's good writing. So, I don't know. It seems like, I don't know. As Christians, we need to be able to take time to be real people. Instead of always trying to achieve that lie of being perfect, because I think we relate to people, and people understand us more whenever we're open and honest with other people and let them understand us for who we are, not always trying to put on the mask of a perfect person, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. It's kind of a weird thing to all of a sudden shift into after we were just talking about video game companies, but I mean, here we are.
Right. Yeah.
Goodness. You ready to do the take it or leave it?
Yeah.
Why don't you go first, Chief?
All right. So I've recently decided that I'm gonna be a lot more strict with my dieting, and really dialing in my nutrition and making sure that I am on point with my diet.
I like it.
So I'm taking that, and leaving. I am leaving behind bad skincare routines because
okay.
I went to the beach over the weekend and got severe, well, not severe, but pretty bad sunburn all over my chest and parts of my face.
Proud of you.
Yeah. So maybe just being a little bit more self-conscious about that, because that's always nice. But what about you? What about you?
Currently for taking, I think, I don't know, something that comes to mind is just like some of the recent like things that I've been into, which is just like, I don't know, I think I'm just appreciating books and reading more, Yeah,
okay.
Because it's kind of just nice and therapeutic to just sit down and enjoy a book. I mean, crud, it doesn't even have to be like an actual, like, oh, I'm sitting down to read a book, whatever. Like, sit down and read a comic book. If you just find the time to just sit down, breathe, and enjoy some literature. Like, I mean, in the last few days, I've read all the way through Watchmen. And that was a book that has a lot of big concepts in it and a lot of, like, interesting ideas. I mean, it's a reason it's a classic. And I'm also reading through Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy again. I'm rereading the first one so I can go read all 5 of them, because I recently got a collection of all 5 of the books. So I'm going to be able to enjoy all of those. And at the same time, I'm also reading I Declare War by Levi Lusko. Mm-hmm. I love his writing. He's also just a phenomenal pastor. I started it back in October, but never went back to it, and so like I'm coming back to it now and starting over just because I was like, no, I'm gonna dedicate to reading this, because there's something about just completing a book and like putting it on my shelf that I'm like, this feels good. I feel like I'm a better person than I was before, and I'm smarter.
Yeah, I
I'm
understand
different.
that. Yeah,
I don't know. There's something about that.
Like I used to read a ton. Like in middle school and the beginning of high school.
I freaking remember that, dog.
Yeah, like if I read a book like a quarter of the way through, and then like over the summer or something, and I dropped it because of school, and I found it again, I would have to go back and read through.
Yeah, a lot of the times it's like you forget what was going on.
Yeah, you forget what happened and all that, and you miss small details whenever you just try to jump back in. I've noticed.
Yeah, like there's certain things you forget about.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But.
Right. Yeah. For leaving, I guess I gotta pick something. I think currently it's like, probably leaving. I don't know. I gotta figure out how to tie it into this the way that we always do this segment. I think honestly I'm currently just trying to leave a lot of hurt and self-doubt. Over the last couple of months, to be honest, there's been a lot of things going on. Honestly, this whole year has been it's been a revolving door of looking forward to something, kind of like getting really excited about it, and then having it blow up in my face at the same time. I don't know, it seems to be doing a lot of that. Even like specifically, it started like back at the beginning of December, like even right before I turned 20 was whenever all of this started. I'm being very intentionally vague about it. Because, like there's a lot to talk about, and I can't talk about a lot of it because I don't want to talk bad about other people,
Right.
But, like, I don't know. It seems to be that I have this really bad problem with making things out to be, figuratively speaking, like not literally speaking, but more of a figurative way of looking at it. I kind of make them kind of like a god. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, it talks about it a lot in the Bible, the idea of, false idols and stuff like that. I think we can do that easily with almost anything, whether it be a game that you're really enjoying or like a job or a relationship, where it takes that new god that you've made takes the place of the one true God, in your life. And I have a really bad problem with doing that. It started, and I'll be honest, I obviously won't say names, but I think it did kind of start with a girl. Like, I think the first time I noticed that I do that was when whenever I had something that I thought was real and genuine, like, kind of fell through with this girl that I honestly really did have like some serious feelings for. Like, I'll be honest with you, I'm pretty sure that I loved her, or I don't know, maybe I loved the thought of her, but we won't get into that. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, it's like, it seems to be what I need to do in life is make sure I put things in their proper place and not let something override my life. Like it's that idea of, it's the idea of making sure God stays God no matter what's going on, because even in life, even whenever I find like a loving relationship, even when I'm married, even when I have kids, God should still be number one in my life over everything else, whether it be an occupation, a relationship, whatever. That still needs to stay number one in my life, and that's it's the one thing you can actually always rely on in everything.
Yeah.
I'm also taking, or excuse me, I'm also leaving because I'm cheating this time. I'm also leaving being inconsistent on the podcast because especially HPE, I just love this podcast, just talking. There's something about it that's just really nice, just to stop and talk. I don't know. Yeah. I enjoy it a lot. Holy crap. There's something very nice and therapeutic about just podcasting and talking. I don't know, but right. Dude, I think that's the podcast. We've been going for almost about 50 minutes, I think, is probably how this one's going to shape up to be. So, yeah. Maybe a little hair over. Either way. Goodness. Okay. So, yeah, dude, honestly, this was really good. Guys, if you want to follow us, follow the show at Heroic Power ENT on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can follow me at Captain JSSG on Instagram, Twitter, and Snoop Choop. Follow Chase on Instagram at chase.galleon1, Twitter at galleon_chase, and Snapchat at chase.galleon. Galleon spelled Galyean. Boom. Find the podcast on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Google, and SoundCloud. Guys, thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed, tell somebody about it. Chase, how should they tell someone about it? What's your amazing creative way to get people to tell someone about the podcast?
All right. What you do, everyone, you go out and you buy the biggest piece of paper imaginable. Okay? Everyone following? Great.
We're following.
So, you take this big paper, you write nothing on it. Not yet. That's for later. I saw you, Daryl, with the pen.
Calm down, Daryl. This is why we can't have nice things.
That's right. So, you take this gihugous piece of paper, you go online, you type up how to fold a paper airplane. You take that piece of paper, you make the gosh darnest best airplane there's ever been in this world. And then, you write on the very bottom.
We believe in you, Daryl.
In tiny, tiny letters, Daryl. Go follow Heroic Power Entertainment, please.
Go follow Heroic Powder Entertainment.
That's right. We're going to make a second channel.
Oh.
And then that will direct them to the first. All right.
Sounds like it's going to be a whole lot more work on me than I previously
And then...
Oh.
And then, in even bigger and bolder letters, you write nice slurs.
What?
Like slurs. Like... your mother smells or something like that. Obviously nothing too vulgar or mean.
Like, I thought...
Just insults.
Right. Well, whenever I hear the word slurs,
insults.
It makes me think of, like, racial slurs. So I legit thought that you were telling people to write horrifying things.
Anyways, moving on. You put insults on the bottom of the airplane. You then build, Daryl, you build a... gihugous slingshot, Angry Bird style.
You've said gihugous so many times.
To the other side of the continental United States. So, you do that. The airplane lands somewhere. Obviously, probably in the Midwest, because I'm guessing, it's not going to make it that far. And then, someone finds it. And they see the big letters. They're like, oh my God, my mother smells. And then they're like, oh, hey, I'll follow these guys. They seem pretty cool. They have a good sense of humor. And then, that really helps us grow the channel. Really spreads the word. Yep. But only if Daryl does it. No one else can do it.
Honestly, Daryl, this has been mostly just a message for you.
Daryl, this is on you.
This is all on you.
The fate of this channel is in your hands, Daryl. You better take this seriously.
Don't leave us out to dry, Daryl.
Don't leave us out to dry. We're soaking wet.
Again.
We're outside. We're outside your house right now, Daryl. And we need a warm towel.
Daryl, we're watching you sleep.
A big piece of paper folded into an airplane with insults on the bottom that says, go follow the channel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What just happened?
My imagination just happened.
Remind me
You're
to
welcome,
never
Internet.
do that again.
You're welcome.
I do actually love it, though.
Yeah, you do.
Oh my gosh. There's no better ending than that right there, I think. So for Heroic Power Entertainment, I'm Joseph Gallion.
And I'm a mic
no.
stand.
It's like the third time you've used mic stand.
Second.
All right, we're done. Bye.
Bye.
Woo-woo-woo-woo-woo-woo.